Long time no see, Helen. It's been a year and a half.
What do you want, David? If you're here to ask me to lower the child support you owe, I won't budge a penny.
I've never missed a payment, have I? Even when you left without warning?
Just get to the point. I'm busy.
No, that's not why I contacted you.
Then what do you want from your ex-wife?
It's about Lucy. Something's bothering me.
What about Lucy?
I actually ran into her today.
What? Where?
Lucy had her career day field trip today, didn't she?
Oh, was that today?
Was that today? You didn't even know? I happened to be at the company where Lucy was doing her career shadowing. We ran into each other there.
What a coincidence.
You didn't even sign her permission slip, did you? Her teacher had to sign it.
I was working late. She's old enough to handle these things.
She's 11, Helen. These are parent responsibilities.
Don't lecture me about responsibilities. You're not her guardian anymore.
I was surprised, too. Wasn't expecting to see my daughter there. Since it was a school event, I was just going to say hello and leave.
As you should. I never agreed to any visitation.
You never even responded to my visitation requests. I sent them every month.
Because they were unnecessary. She's fine with me.
But Lucy seemed off, and it worried me. She clung to me and cried, saying she wanted to live with Dad. Is something happening at home?
Nothing at all. She just got emotional seeing her father after so long.
She was wearing the same uniform from last year. It's too small now.
Stop nitpicking. Clothes are expensive.
But she said she doesn't want to live with Mom anymore.
It's just her preteen attitude. Lately, Lucy's been nothing but rebellious. She can't even do basic housework. She's just a waste of money.
What kind of housework are you making her do?
Just normal things. Cooking, cleaning, laundry.
She's still a child. You can't expect perfect housework. You should be grateful she helps at all.
We're a single-parent household. The kid needs to help with chores for us to survive.
Is that why her hands were covered in burns from cooking?
She's clumsy. That's her own fault.
That didn't seem like rebellion to me. She looked traumatized. Are you mistreating her?
So you think I'm abusing my child?
She flinched when a student raised their hand. That's not normal behavior.
You're reading too much into things.
It's not normal for a 5th grader to break down like that, especially the moment she sees me.
I am fulfilling my duties as a mother. You have no right to criticize when you're not even involved in parenting.
Not involved. I've sent birthday gifts every year. You return them unopened.
She doesn't need your gifts. She has everything she needs.
I want to be involved, but I can't, can I? A year and a half ago, you suddenly took our daughter and left.
Well, you were the kind of husband whose wife would leave him.
You never even explained why, just left a note and disappeared with Lucy.
I don't owe you explanations.
I send you child support every month. Are you actually using it for Lucy? I'm starting to worry.
Are you suggesting I divorced you for the child support?
Lucy's shoes are falling apart. Where's the money going, Helen?
How I manage our finances is none of your business.
That's not what I meant, but Lucy didn't look happy at all. As her father, of course I'm concerned. Let me see her more often.
So you can brainwash her?
Brainwash? What are you talking about?
You want to convince her that Dad is better than Mom, don't you?
I would never do that.
You always tried to be the fun parent, even when we were married.
This isn't about us. It's about Lucy's well-being.
I am working hard to raise her too. Sometimes I have to scold her, but you get to be the fun parent because you're not around all the time. Must be nice.
Define scolding, because Lucy mentioned going without dinner when she makes mistakes.
She needs to learn consequences.
Sure, kids might find their parents annoying when they get scolded, but Lucy today wasn't acting like a kid annoyed by parental lectures. She looked like she was desperate to escape something. There was real pain in her eyes.
You saw her for what, 5 minutes? Now you're an expert?
I know my daughter. Something's very wrong.
Stop acting like you know everything. Parents suffer too. Stay out of this. You're an outsider now.
I'm gonna keep investigating this, Helen. Count on it.
Do what you want, but remember, I have full custody.
For now.
David, you said you wanted to be involved in parenting, right?
Yes, I did.
You still feel that way?
Of course! I've been trying to contact you about Lucy for months.
You've been quite persistent.
Because I'm worried about our daughter.
Well, today's your lucky day.
What do you mean?
Perfect timing then. I am getting remarried, so you can have Lucy back. She's your problem now.
Have her back?
This is what you wanted, right? Now you can live with your daughter. I don't need her anymore, so I'm giving her to you.
Just like that, after fighting so hard for full custody?
Times change. People change.
And the child support payments?
Won't need those anymore. I'll have a husband to support me. Think whatever you want. I'm being generous here.
I see. So Lucy's served her purpose. You only took her for the child support. You're finished, aren't you?
Next month, we're having a small ceremony.
When's the wedding? And your fiancé is okay with this arrangement?
Of course, we discussed everything.
Everything?
What are you implying?
I'm not finished. Your fiancé just brought Lucy here.
What?
As you said, Lucy will be living with me from today.
He's there? No, that's impossible.
Want me to put him on the phone?
Stop lying.
It's true.
That's impossible.
Why are you so sure?
He can't be there with Lucy.
Is that because you never told your fiancé about having a daughter?
How did he really come there?
That's what I've been telling you.
How does he know? What's going on?
Your fiancé went to your apartment today on an errand.
What? I didn't know about this.
He was just dropping off something you forgot, so he didn't make an appointment. He was about to leave it on the doorknob when Lucy came out. He was quite shocked to see a child there.
She was supposed to be at cram school today.
The cram school you haven't paid for in 3 months?
That girl, why did she have to come out right then? And he could have at least told me he was coming.
He was surprised to find out about Lucy, but he was even more shocked by her condition.
What do you mean?
Don't play dumb. You hadn't fed her for 5 days, had you? She'd been surviving on school lunches alone. Her clothes were filthy and worn out. She clearly hadn't bathed in days.
She must have gotten her clothes dirty playing somewhere. I don't know anything about this.
The neighbors told him everything.
What neighbors?
The ones who hear Lucy crying every night. The ones who see her doing laundry at midnight.
Well, they should mind their own business.
Stop making excuses. You've been treating Lucy like garbage, haven't you? She told us everything. Your fiancé was so concerned about her condition that he brought her here.
Without telling me? How dare he do something so presumptuous?
He's already called child services.
He what?
Because Lucy was crying, begging to go back to Dad's house. He's a good man. Too good for you, but I'm glad. At least he found out what kind of person you really are before the marriage.
Where is he?
He left already. He seemed completely disillusioned with you. I wonder if you'll still be getting married after this.
This isn't how things were supposed to go.
No, this is exactly how things should go. Lucy is safe now.
How could you do this to me?
What now?
He's not answering any of my calls. Give me his new number.
Of course he's not. He blocked you for a reason.
This is all Lucy's fault. How is she going to take responsibility?
Hold on, what are you talking about? Explain properly.
He broke off our engagement.
Of course he did. That was predictable.
He didn't even let me explain.
Explain what? How you hid your child or how you starved her?
What did you say?
Who would want to marry someone who mistreats their child? No one wants someone as twisted as you.
You don't understand. I had plans.
Plans to deceive him forever?
I am not twisted. Don't mock me.
Your fiancé made the right choice. If he married you, he'd eventually get caught up in trouble. I hope he finds someone with better character to marry.
He was going to take care of everything.
Take care of what?
The apartment, the loans, everything.
So you were just using him.
Stop acting like you know everything. He was completely in love with me. Breaking up right before marriage is too cruel.
Love based on lies isn't love at all.
He didn't need to know about Lucy yet.
When were you planning to tell him? After the wedding?
I would have eased him into it.
You're the only one who doesn't understand why he left. There's something wrong with anyone who can hurt a child so easily. Either that or your humanity is broken.
I did what I had to do to survive.
By hurting our daughter?
I hid Lucy's existence because I thought no man would want to marry me if they knew. The food punishment was discipline. That's what it takes to handle a rebellious preteen.
What rebellion? Lucy is terrified of you. She couldn't possibly be rebellious.
She cries too loudly when I punish her.
Do you hear yourself?
The neighbors complain about the noise.
That's what you're worried about?
You don't know what it's like day to day. She doesn't listen. She breaks things. She's such a handful.
What things has she broken?
Last week, she dropped a plate while washing dishes.
And you punished her for that?
Actions have consequences.
Even if she was rebellious, starving her for 5 days is extreme. That's just common sense.
She had school lunch, so it was fine. Discipline is important. You don't understand how hard parenting is. That's why you can say such naive things.
The school nurse reported her weight loss.
It's not weight. She's just growing and losing her baby fat.
I doubt many people would agree with your logic. Keep making these crazy arguments. Either way, your fiancé has left you.
Do you know how hard I worked to get him? And now he's breaking off the engagement? Don't be ridiculous.
Not my problem. So you met him at a mixer? Must have really put on an act to win his heart.
I did work hard. I researched everything he liked, changed my hair, clothes, makeup. I even learned to cook.
You really did put in effort. Why did you want him so badly?
For the money, obviously. He's an elite worker from a wealthy family. His looks aren't great, but that's secondary.
Even researched his family background, did you?
His parents own 3 properties.
Your greed is almost refreshing at this point.
I had everything planned perfectly.
Except for Lucy being discovered.
This wasn't how things were supposed to go. I should have just given Lucy to you earlier.
That's what happens when you get blinded by child support money. A fitting end for you.
You don't understand. This marriage was my chance.
Chance for what?
To start over, to be someone else.
Someone without a daughter?
Shut up. I'll convince him somehow. I have to marry him, no matter what.
Why are you so obsessed? I'm starting to feel sorry for him.
My entire life depends on whether I can marry him.
Lucy's life depended on you being a decent mother. How did that work out?
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
No, I'm disgusted. Our daughter could have died.
Don't be dramatic.
The hospital report wasn't dramatic. It was factual.
Hospital?
Where do you think Lucy is right now?
You took her to the hospital?
The doctors are documenting everything.
You're really trying to ruin me.
You did that yourself.
He blocked me. I can't contact him at all now.
Oh, so he managed to escape from you?
I went to his workplace. Security escorted me out.
You're just making it worse for yourself.
Why? You must have told him something. This doesn't make sense otherwise.
What exactly did you expect him to do after finding a starving child in your apartment?
I sent him emails explaining everything.
Explaining what? Your lies?
No, it makes perfect sense. You poisoned him against me.
No, it makes perfect sense. Learning your true nature would cool even the hottest love. By the way, Lucy told me about your debt.
Why is that child talking about unnecessary things?
The debt collectors who keep calling, they're getting aggressive, aren't they?
That's private.
She said she saw collection notices at home, said there were lots of zeros. Seems like you have quite a bit of debt. Is that why you were targeting your fiancé?
So what if I do?
The notices are from 6 different credit card companies.
Have you been going through my mail?
Lucy kept all the notices. She thought they were important.
That little snitch.
You didn't tell your fiancé about the debt either, did you?
What does that matter?
Hiding a child and massive debt? That's a lot of secrets, don't you think?
The debt isn't even that much.
The papers Lucy gave me say that it's over $200,000.
She can't even read numbers that big. Why did she show them to you?
I don't know, but when were you planning on letting your fiancé know?
I couldn't find the right thing. I was planning to tell him eventually.
When exactly is eventually?
Eventually means eventually.
After you got access to his family money?
You don't understand anything.
What's that supposed to mean? You were never going to tell him. Since he was being deceived so badly, I told him about your debt last night.
What? When?
Last night.
While I was sending him emails?
Yes, right about then.
So that's why he blocked me. It was your fault.
Maybe so. Looks like he's really done with you.
His family has connections. They could have helped me.
Helped you commit fraud?
What have you done?
It was for the best.
This is clearly malicious.
To you, maybe. I told him as friendly advice. He definitely needed to get away from you.
You've ruined everything.
No, you did that yourself.
This is the worst. Outsiders shouldn't interfere.
He helped save our daughter. None of us are outsiders in this situation anymore. Anyway, it's over between you two. Stop obsessing over him. I feel bad for the guy.
The collectors are coming tomorrow.
That sounds like a problem you've got to deal with on your own.
How am I supposed to pay back my loans?
Figure it out yourself. It's your debt.
Wait, give Lucy back.
What?
The marriage is off, so give Lucy back.
Oh, so you can get child support again? Not happening. I've already started the process to take away your parental rights.
Take them away?
The hospital records alone are enough.
They can't do that.
I found a good lawyer. We're gonna strip your parental rights and get a restraining order to keep you away from Lucy.
Don't say things like that.
The lawyer says it's an easy case.
She's my daughter, too.
You're the one who's been doing whatever you want. If you don't like it, hire a good lawyer and fight back.
I can't afford a lawyer.
I figured as much.
Well, you're not rich either. How can you afford a lawyer?
Oh, right, you wouldn't know since we haven't spoken in a year and a half. I got promoted. My salary increased significantly.
What? No way.
Remember that project I was working on when you left?
The one you were always staying late for?
It succeeded! Got me fast-tracked to management. Now I can give Lucy a comfortable life. She can eat whatever she wants, and I can even take her on international trips. I can give her the life she really deserves.
Your salary changed that much?
The promotion came with stock options, too.
You never mentioned this before.
You never asked. You were too busy planning your scam marriage.
I would have stayed if I'd known.
Good thing we divorced. You would have wasted all the money. Thanks for leaving.
Why is my timing always so bad?
You've been abandoned by your fiancé, your ex-husband, and even heaven itself. Have fun dealing with your debt.
I won't be able to survive like this.
I thought you said not eating for a while was fine. Didn't you say taking baths every 3 days was enough to save on utilities?
That was different.
Was it? Now you can practice what you preach.
I don't want to live like that.
Then work hard. Work until you're drenched in sweat. If you do that, maybe you can live luxuriously again.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? Don't take pleasure in others' misfortune.
I will never forgive you for what you did to our daughter. You deserve to be punished, and I hope you suffer. Experience the same pain you put our daughter through. Helen couldn't let go of her ex-fiancé and kept stalking him. Eventually, he got a restraining order against her. I heard through the grapevine that she later declared bankruptcy. Since Lucy came to live with me, I've spared no expense for her happiness. I take her on trips whenever I have time off. I wanted to overwrite her painful memories with happy ones. Thanks to that, Lucy smiles a lot more now. While we don't keep in touch with her mother's ex-fiancé, I did send him a thank you gift once. Surprisingly, he sent something back. It was a box of children's treats. Maybe he had a soft spot for kids all along. It made me even more angry that Helen tried to use such a good person. I don't know where she is or what she's doing now, but I don't care. Instead, I focus on giving my daughter the happy life she deserves.
Martin, can you please explain what happened this morning properly? It's lunchtime now, isn't it?
Huh? Just like I said this morning. You know Rachel, right? My friend from back home? We've known each other since we were kids.
Yeah, I know her. We hung out a couple of times after you got married. We exchanged contact info too, remember?
Oh, you exchanged contact info.
Yeah, we texted the last time we hung out, but we haven't spoken in years. We've kind of lost touch after that.
Okay, so can you just leave her alone for now? I'll take care of the communication with her.
It's not about Rachel, okay? I'm asking about the kid you brought over this morning. What do you mean by looking after them for a while? What's going on with that?
I'm telling you, Rachel's dealing with some stuff and can't look after her kid anymore.
What kind of stuff?
Are you sure you're not saying anything you shouldn't? Please, don't contact Rachel directly, okay?
I'm not that close to her. I won't overstep, don't worry. So what's actually happening?
Well, Rachel and her husband might be getting a divorce.
What? Seriously?
I don't know all the details, but it seems like her husband cheated on her. Things have been getting worse between them. They've been having a lot of serious discussions, and Rachel's emotionally drained. So she asked me if I could take care of her kid for a while, at least until things settle down a bit.
Yeah, I can imagine how overwhelming that must be for her. Having to figure out everything on her own while also dealing with all of this emotional stress.
Exactly, and her kid, he's only about 3 years old. You know how kids that age can be. They're sensitive to changes, and she's really struggling with everything right now, so I was hoping you could help and look after him for about a week, just while she gets a bit of time to sort things out.
But you're asking me to look after a kid? Do you know how complicated that is? I am working from home right now, remember? My job still expects me to keep up with my work and attend all of my meetings. I have all of the same responsibilities as when I was going into the office.
I understand, but can you find a way to make it work just for a little while? It's only a week.
A week? You're asking a lot, you know. The company's been pushing more and more for us to go into the office recently. I really can't be sure when they'll tell me to come in.
When that happens, I'll deal with it. I promise. I'll take care of things. I'm not asking you to take on everything. Just please help out for a bit.
You're asking a lot from me. You know that, right? You've been coming home late and working extra hours, too.
I know it's a lot, but I'm the one who brought the kid here, so I'm doing my part. I'll take care of him as best as I can.
But you're saying that you'll be home earlier now, starting today?
Today? Well, that's a bit tricky. I don't think I'll be able to leave the office exactly at the usual time.
So in the end, it's all falling on me, isn't it? I get that you're being kind, but there's a clear difference between what you can do and what you can't do, and I think you need to recognize that.
I know, I'm sorry, okay? But can you please help? Rachel and her son Zach are in a really tough spot right now.
I know they're in a tough spot. That's why I'm upset. You shouldn't have agreed to take him in if you knew it wasn't going to work for us. I feel bad for Zach too, but I'm still going to have to work while looking after him.
Look, I believe you can handle it. You're stronger than you think. I'll do my best to get home early, and if there's anything you need, just call me. I'll be there to help out.
Ugh, fine, I'll do it, but only for a week, okay? That's all I can handle. I won't be able to keep this up for any longer.
I understand. Thank you. Just 1 week is enough. I really appreciate you helping out with Zach. It's not easy, but I promise we'll make it work.
So, to make sure I'm clear, this is just for 1 week, right? Because I'm not committing to anything beyond that.
Yes, just 1 week. After that, I'll take over and you won't have to worry about it anymore.
I'm not doing this for any longer than a week. I am warning you now, so don't ask me again.
Of course, I won't. Thank you so much for agreeing to help, though. I know this isn't easy for you, but it really means a lot to me and to Rachel as well.
I'm only doing this because you're asking, but please don't put me in a position like this again.
I won't. I promise. Once this week is over, everything will go back to normal.
Okay, well, we'll see how things go. Just remember, 1 week only.
Got it. Thank you again, really. I'll make sure to do my part and handle things on my end. I know it's a lot to ask, but I'm grateful. Deborah, I'm sorry. I've got a business trip starting tomorrow.
What? A business trip? You told me you'd take a day off tomorrow, right? I have an important meeting and I'll be out of the house.
I know, but is there any way we can make it work?
No, there isn't. I absolutely have to go to the office tomorrow. They need me there and I can't get out of it.
Well, what about your sister? Could she watch Zach for a few hours?
My sister's raising twins right now, remember? I can't just ask her to take on another kid. It wouldn't be fair to her, and she is really busy every single day with the twins. And honestly, what about your mom? Isn't she around to help out?
If I ask my mom, I'd have to tell her about Rachel's situation too, wouldn't I? My mom's a bit of a gossip, and once she knows something, everyone else is gonna hear about it. I really don't want her to know about Rachel's divorce yet. Rachel hasn't even told many people, and it's a really touchy subject for her. I can't just go telling my mom all the details. She'll want to share it with everyone, and that's not something Rachel's ready for.
Okay, I get it. I'll try asking my sister then.
Thank you. Zach really took to you quickly, and I'm sure your sister won't have too much trouble with him. After spending a few days with him, you've seen how well-behaved he is, right?
Yeah, he's sweet and cute, but he's still just 3 years old, and you know how curious they are at that age. It's impossible to take your eyes off him for even a second. He's into everything, and it's actually a little overwhelming.
I know it's tough, but your sister's got experience with kids, so I'm sure she'll handle it just fine.
Don't make it sound so easy. You've been saying that, but I'm the one who's been taking care of Zach this whole time. And you haven't been coming home early.
I know, I'm really sorry about that. Work has been insane lately, and I didn't realize how much it was affecting you.
Well, I'm working too, and now I'm dealing with Zach on top of everything else. When is your business trip going to end?
It'll be over by Sunday at the latest.
Wait, so you'll be gone the entire time I'm supposed to be looking after Zach? You won't be around at all? Are you serious?
I know it's not ideal. I'm really sorry about this, but I'll make it up to you, I promise.
Make it up to me? You've been borrowing money from me for the past 3 months, and you've been slacking off when it comes to sharing responsibilities. You can't keep relying on me like this. You've been taking advantage of me, and it is starting to wear thin.
I mean, we're married, right? Isn't it okay for us to lean on each other sometimes? Especially when things are tough at work?
I'm supporting you, aren't I? But lately it's been getting worse. You've been using the credit card too much, and then you don't even seem to care about the consequences. You just expect me to pick up the slack. You're not taking responsibility for your actions, and I'm the one who ends up paying for it.
You know how stressful work's been for me, right? It's been nonstop, and I've been feeling pressure from every direction. And now I'm getting these comments from you too? I feel like I'm being blamed for everything.
You don't have to say it like that. I'm doing everything too. Work, housework, and now Zach as well. You don't even seem to realize how much extra I'm doing, and you just keep pushing your responsibilities onto me.
You're right, but I've been really overwhelmed with work lately, and I'm not handling it well. I should have communicated better with you about how much I can handle.
Well, we both have our responsibilities, don't we? You can't just keep passing everything on to me and then expect me to be fine with it. That's not fair, and honestly, you need to step up and take more responsibility.
You're right. I'm not doing enough, and I'm sorry for that. I shouldn't be putting everything on you. But I also want you to understand that I've been under a lot of pressure with work. I didn't mean to make things harder for you.
I get that work is stressful, but we need to balance things better. You can't just keep expecting me to do everything. You're not the only one who's struggling. I'm doing my best too.
I know, and I appreciate everything you're doing. Honestly, I do. I'm just trying to figure out how to handle everything at once, and sometimes I'm failing at it.
Well, it's not just about you anymore. We have responsibilities to each other and to Zach. I'm not going to be able to do this all on my own.
I get it. I do. I know I need to step up more, but what do you want me to do about the business trip? I can't just cancel it at the last minute.
You can't cancel it, but you can think about how to balance things better. Maybe I can ask your sister to help out, but I need to know that you're going to do your part when you're back.
I will. I promise I'll make it up to you when I get back.
I am holding you to that. This can't be a one-time thing, though. We need to be more balanced, or it's going to keep causing problems.
I understand. And when I get back, we can talk more about how to handle everything going forward. I'll do better, I promise.
All right, but just remember, this can't keep happening. We're partners in this, and we need to support each other.
You're right. I've been taking too much for granted. I'll do better. And I'll make it up to you, Deborah. I swear.
I hope so. Rachel. Long time no see. This is Deborah, Martin's wife. Deborah? Oh, wow, it's been ages. What's going on? I'm reaching out regarding your child. Wait, you heard about it? I'm so sorry. I know it's a delicate situation with your family, but this all came as a surprise to me as well. Is this something for you to be surprised about? It's just that I was suddenly asked to look after a 3-year-old, and I had to ask my husband for more information about the situation, which I think you understand. Wait, what? I'm really sorry for reaching out like this during such a difficult time, but it turns out Zach has a slight fever, and I was hoping you could take him to the hospital. If you could lend me his insurance card, I can take him myself. What are you talking about? What do you mean? I'm sorry, but I'm not sure I understand what's going on here. Could you clarify? I don't understand what you're trying to tell me by texting me out of the blue, but my son passed away 3 months ago. Wait, Zach, isn't he your son? No, I was pregnant 3 months ago, but the child I was carrying passed away before birth. He went to heaven before I even had the chance to bring him into this world. I don't have a 3-year-old son. I'm currently looking after a child named Zach. Martin told me he was your son, so I thought I should... That's a terrible thing to say. I don't know anyone named Zach. So Martin lied. Is that what you're telling me? I guess that's the case. I can't believe it. He knew I lost my child, and yet he would use my name for such a lie? I trusted him because we were childhood friends, and now... I am so sorry. It's not your fault, Deborah, but then how did you end up taking care of this child? Well, you and your husband are going through a divorce. Martin then asked me to look after the child temporarily until things settle down. What's Martin doing right now? He's on a business trip, but apparently his flight was canceled due to the hurricane. He's stuck and can't come back yet. The situation's gotten worse since I haven't been able to get in touch with him at all while he's been away. Regarding Zach's fever, he just told me to wait, so I thought I'd contact you directly to ask for help. Honestly, whether he's even really on a business trip seems suspicious at this point. Yeah, I'm starting to question everything myself. Deborah, could you hold off on contacting Martin for now? If the flight cancellation story is true, we could try to wait it out at the airport and find out the truth. I'm happy to help you confront Martin and get to the bottom of this.
Deborah, I'm really sorry. Please listen to me.
I've heard enough. You asked me to take care of our child so you could go on a trip with your affair partner, didn't you?
Yes, but it's over now. The affair is finished. That trip was the last one. I couldn't keep dragging things on any longer, so I took her there to end it.
I don't care about that.
I care about you more than anyone else. That's why I ended things with her. I'm really sorry for the pain I caused you, but I want to be with you from now on. Please come back.
So the reason you've been spending money recklessly these past few months was because you were buying things for your affair partner, right?
She threatened to tell you about the affair, and I had no choice but to buy things for her. It wasn't that I wanted to spoil her. I was doing it to protect you. I didn't want to hurt you.
You're the one who's hurt me the most. If you hadn't had the affair, none of this would have happened. And asking me to take care of the child, are you out of your mind? Both you and your affair partner are completely out of line.
She was a new mom, and there was no one else she could ask.
I don't care. The fact is, you got involved with her, and that's what's wrong.
I'm sorry. At first, I just thought of her as a friend, but somehow it turned into this.
A friend? You met her on a dating app, didn't you? You were planning this from the start.
I just wanted to try something out, see what it was like. I didn't think it would turn into anything serious.
But in the end, you did meet up and did everything. And using Rachel's name? You actually did that to a person who had lost their child? How could you do such a thing?
I thought it would never get out.
Even so, it's still the lowest of the low. Having the affair, leaving Zach with me, using Rachel's name, everything you've done is despicable. I can never live with someone like you again.
I won't do it again. I swear I'll never betray you.
I don't ever want to go through that again, so I'm leaving. You even said it was my fault, remember? You said I was pushing you, that I wasn't considering your feelings, that I wasn't understanding your pain.
I'm sorry. I was in a rush back then.
You're still only thinking about yourself. You were just doing whatever the affair partner wanted because you didn't want the affair to be exposed. You weren't protecting me, you were protecting yourself.
Deborah, I'm really sorry. If you'll forgive me, I'll do anything. Please don't divorce me. Rachel found out and other people back home are criticizing me. If my mom finds out about this, she'll never forgive me.
See, you're still only thinking about yourself. I was on the verge of breaking down until I found out the truth about the affair. I kept wanting to believe in you, but then when Rachel and I were in the airport waiting, you came walking by holding hands with your affair partner. In an instant, all the trust I had in you was gone. I'll never forgive you. I realized that I don't need you in my life.
I need you in my life.
Because we both work? Is it because you need me to cover for you, even supporting your affair?
No, it's not like that. Even someone like me, I thought I could become better with you by my side.
You're just dumping everything on me. I used to think your smile and kindness were your best traits. But after we got married, it's been clear to me that you just push everything onto others and do whatever you want without feeling any stress.
You didn't need to say it like that.
But you're the one making me say it. If I'm the most important thing to you, does that mean it's okay to have an affair? Even if that's the case, it's still messed up, isn't it? I'm the one who's been suffering the most. You had an affair and made me take care of the affair partner's child. Do you realize how humiliating that was for me?
I was wrong. It's all my fault. I'm really sorry.
Yes, you're wrong. So please divorce me. If you're truly sorry, then at least consider my feelings.
But Deborah, please, don't you understand? This isn't just about the affair anymore. It's about everything. It's about how I've been trying to fix things. I know I've made mistakes, a lot of them, but please just listen to me. I want to fix this.
You're right. It's not just about the affair. It's about everything that happened, all the lies, all the deception. I don't know if I can ever trust you again. And I don't know if I can live like this. Always wondering if you're still lying, if you're still hiding things from me.
I swear I'll do whatever it takes to regain your trust. I'll prove to you that I can be the man you need me to be. Just don't leave me.
You say you'll do whatever it takes, but it doesn't feel like enough. You have broken me. You've broken everything. I can't just keep pretending everything's fine.
I didn't mean to break you. I never wanted to hurt you like this. If I could take everything back, I would, but I can't. All I can do now is ask for your forgiveness.
It's not that simple. Forgiveness isn't something you can just ask for and expect to receive. It is earned, and I don't know if you'll ever earn it back. I don't know if I can ever trust you the way I did before.
I understand, I really do, but please, I don't want to lose you.
Maybe you don't want to lose me, but you've already lost me. At least the person I was. I don't know who I am anymore, and I don't know who you are either.
I never meant to hurt you like this. I just got caught up in everything. The affair, the lies, all of it. It wasn't supposed to be like this.
It doesn't matter how it was supposed to be. What matters is that it's like this now. And you have to face that. I have to face it too.
Deborah, please, if you give me one more chance, I swear I'll make it right.
I don't know if I can ever give you that chance. I don't know if I can ever go back to what we had before. I don't know if I can trust you again.
I'll prove it to you. I'll do anything. I'll be the man you always wanted me to be. Just give me a chance.
I don't know if I can. I am so hurt, Martin, and I don't know if I can ever heal from this. I don't know if I can ever forgive you. After that, my husband kept shouting that he didn't want a divorce until the very end, but there was no way the affair partner's claims would be accepted. I immediately hired a lawyer and made sure to claim proper alimony from both my ex-husband and his affair partner. It wasn't just about the money, though. It was about making them both face the consequences of their actions and holding them accountable for the pain they caused me. The divorce was finalized, and my ex-husband agreed that Zach would live with him. I didn't have much to say on the matter, but I figured that it was probably for the best. Zach had become a pawn in this whole affair, and I felt he deserved a stable environment away from the chaos that my ex-husband had created. It was hard to accept, but I had to let go. During the negotiations, the affair partner claimed they couldn't pay alimony. Of course, I didn't believe that. To make sure they couldn't get away with it, I demanded they provide their ID and contacted their family to verify their financial situation. I wasn't going to let them off easy. They needed to understand that their actions had consequences, and I wasn't backing down. I found out that the affair partner had been involved in previous affairs, and that's what led them to take on the new mom role. The situation was even worse than I thought. I later learned that the affair partner's parents contacted my ex-husband to explain the situation, and Zach's father was furious. After hearing the truth, he decided to take custody of Zach. It was a tense conversation, but at least Zach was going to live with his father now. It was a bittersweet relief, knowing that Zach was far away from the destructive environment created by my ex-husband and his affair. Despite the affair partner's actions, I knew Zach deserved to grow up in a stable, loving environment, and living with his father might be the best chance for that. I heard that Zach was actually quite happy to live with his father, which gave me some peace. At least he wasn't completely left in the dark. He had his father's attention, and that was a relief considering everything that had happened. As for my ex-husband, I've heard that he's been cut off from his family and friends. The people who used to be close to him have distanced themselves, and rightfully so. He ruined everything: his marriage, his relationships, and his own reputation. It's sad, but also well-deserved. He had it all before, but his selfishness and disregard for others had caused everything to crumble. His actions had consequences, and now he was forced to deal with them. I also heard that he's been shunned by people from his hometown. They no longer want anything to do with him. The way he treated me and the way he handled everything left him with nothing. He burned every bridge he had, and now he had to face the reality of being alone. I can't say I felt sorry for him. He brought this upon himself. A neighbor who worked at the same company as my ex-husband told me that the news of our divorce and his affair spread throughout the office. As expected, no one wanted to associate with him anymore. The facade he had built around himself came crumbling down once the truth came out. He was left without any support. It was almost poetic justice. He had built his life on lies, and now those lies had caught up with him. Now, with no one left to rely on, my ex-husband probably realized just how much he had been taking others for granted. He had lived his life in a way that was selfish, and now he had no one to support him. I couldn't help but feel a little bit of satisfaction in knowing that he had learned his lesson the hard way. He had pushed everyone away, and now he was left alone to reflect on the choices he made. As for me, I had moved on. I found a new place to live and started a new life. It wasn't easy at first, adjusting to everything, but I knew it was the right decision. I wasn't going to let him continue to control my life. I had my own future to focus on now. My work situation had changed too. I had moved from working from home to going back to the office. At first, I thought I would miss the quiet of being home all the time, but honestly, I found that being busy helped me keep my mind off everything that had happened. I didn't have the time to dwell on the past anymore. I was no longer tied to the pain of my past marriage. I was free to focus on myself, and that felt incredibly empowering. I didn't need anyone else to validate me. I was in control now, and I was ready to move forward with my life. The past was behind me, and I wasn't going to let it define my future. Then, about 6 months after the divorce, I found out that Rachel was pregnant. She had been such an incredible friend during everything I had gone through. When I was at my lowest, she was the one who helped me get through it. She gave me strength when I had none left. I was beyond happy for her when I heard the news. She deserves all the happiness in the world, and now she was about to start a new chapter in her life. Not long ago, Rachel and I went to church together to pray for a safe pregnancy and delivery. It was a small but meaningful gesture. I wanted to support her just as she had supported me. I felt so grateful for her friendship, and I knew that no matter what, we would always be there for each other. Of course, Rachel wasn't the only one who had been there for me during all of this. My family and friends had offered me unwavering support. They had been my rock, lifting me up when I thought I couldn't go on. Their encouragement helped me regain my strength and my sense of self. I owed them so much, and I wanted to give back. Now I had the opportunity to be there for others, just as they had been there for me. I realized that life has a way of balancing things out. I had gone through so much heartache, but now I was starting to see the fruits of my labor. I had a new purpose, a new sense of direction, and I was determined to make the most of it. I wanted to be a source of support for others, just as my friends and family had been for me. It was time for me to give back and pay it forward. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. Blake, do you have a moment? I need to ask you for a favor regarding Max.
It's rare for you to contact me first. Did something happen?
Well, it's not that rare when we're divorced, is it? It's expected, really. After all, we're not together anymore, so I can contact you directly if I need to. I'm not sure what you mean by rare, but I guess you're right in some sense. But anyway, that's not what this is about. It's about Max, actually. Something's come up with him, and I need your help.
I suppose you're right about that. So what's going on with Max? Is something wrong? Is he okay? I hope everything's fine with him. If something's going on with Max, you know I want to help out in any way I can, even if we're not together anymore. After all, he's my son too, and I care about him.
Actually, my mom's been feeling unwell. I'm planning to take care of her, but with Max around, things are a bit difficult. I was hoping you could watch him for a few days. Would that be all right? I know it's a bit of a big ask, and I totally get it if you're not up for it, but I don't have anyone else to turn to right now. She's my priority, but I don't want Max to feel neglected or like he's in the way while I'm trying to help my mom out. I just thought I'd ask you if you could keep him for a few days until things settle down a little. It's really just a temporary situation, nothing permanent. I promise. Could you help me out with this?
Oh, I don't mind. Honestly, I'd be happy to spend time with Max if that's the case. It's been a while since I've had him around, so I'm definitely not against it. But are you sure you want to leave him with me? I mean, I understand you don't have many other options right now, but do you feel really comfortable with this? I don't want to step on any toes or make things complicated for you. I know things haven't exactly been smooth between us since the divorce, but if it means helping you out and spending time with Max, then I'm on board. Just want to make sure you're okay with it too.
I'd rather not, to be honest. But I don't have anyone else to turn to, and I really don't have a choice this time. I wish things were different and I could find someone else to help me, but the truth is, I'm stuck. It's just a few days, though. It's not forever. I'm just really overwhelmed right now with everything, and I'm trying to do what's best for Max and my mom. I don't expect it to be easy for you either. I know things have been difficult, but I wouldn't ask if it weren't urgent. I just need a little help, Blake.
There's no one else? Come on, didn't you have a boyfriend? Couldn't you ask him to take care of Max? I thought you were in a relationship now. Why not ask him to step in for a little while? I mean, I'm willing to help, but I'd think that if you had someone else around, it might be easier for you to rely on them. I just figured that would be an option. I don't want to make things harder for you, but I also want to make sure you're getting all the support you can right now.
He's away on a business trip right now. Besides, when we divorced, I moved out. I don't have any close friends nearby anymore. And what's with you asking me that? Are you really reluctant to take care of your own son? I thought you'd be happy to spend time with him, Blake. You've always said you care about him, and now's your chance to show it. If you're still hesitating, I don't know what else to say. I know things are complicated, but right now I really don't have any other options. I am asking you for help, and that's all.
I told you already I'd be happy to look after Max. We've been postponing visits for a while now, and the opportunity to spend time with him, no matter the reason, is something I'm grateful for. I'm not turning you down, and I'm not reluctant. But it's been a while since we've been living apart, and I guess I just want to make sure I'm ready. I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. If it's only for a few days, I'm fine with it. I just want to make sure I'm taking the right approach and that Max is comfortable. I don't want to make things harder on him, and I don't want him to feel like he's in a strange situation.
Then there's no problem, is there? What's the hesitation? You've been fine with him before, right? Why not now? What's stopping you from just agreeing? I don't see the issue, honestly. If anything, I thought you'd be more eager to spend time with Max. It's not like you're being asked to raise him for the next few months. It's just a few days to help me out while I take care of things. So why the delay?
You're planning to remarry your current boyfriend, right? You told me you didn't want me to be around while you're transitioning into that relationship. That's why I've been holding back. Given the circumstances, if you could rely on someone else, that would be better, don't you think? I've been trying to respect your space, but I've also been a little hurt by how things ended between us. I'm not saying that's why I'm hesitating, but it's definitely in the back of my mind. I just want to make sure that this doesn't cause any more problems than we already have.
If there was anyone else, I wouldn't be asking you. Trust me, this is a last resort. Please understand that much. I'm just trying to get through this and do what's best for Max. I never wanted things to be this way, but I don't have any other options. I am hoping you understand. I know it's not easy, but I promise it's only temporary.
I get it, but are you really okay with this?
I said I'm fine with it, didn't I? Just don't say anything weird to Max while he's with you, all right? If you do, I won't let you get away with it. I know things are tough right now, but I don't want Max getting caught up in anything uncomfortable. He's already been through a lot with all the changes in our lives.
You have custody of him, so I don't need to think about it anymore, do I?
Well, that's good to hear. I'll bring him over tomorrow morning then. It's the weekend, so you're off work, right?
Yeah, I'm off, so any time is fine. Just let me know what time, and I'll be ready. Also, is there anything I should know about taking care of Max? We've been living separately for about 2 years now, so it'd help if you could give me some pointers. I don't want to do anything that might throw him off or make things harder on him.
Lately, he's been really picky with his food. Sometimes he refuses to eat and ends up throwing up, which has caused him to lose some weight.
What? Is he okay? Max is still in preschool, right? He's still growing.
His health is fine. Don't worry about that. All I need from you is to look after him for a few days. That's it. Thanks in advance.
Got it. I'll do my best to take care of him. Thanks for trusting me with this. I'll see you tomorrow then. Sandra, sorry about this. I need to ask you something, if that's okay. It's about Max.
What's going on? Did something happen?
Well, we had dinner just a little while ago, and he ate, but then he immediately threw up. I'm really worried. Do you think this is okay? Is this something I should be concerned about?
Didn't I tell you before you dropped him off? It happens often, you know. You really don't need to keep checking in about every little thing. I'm really busy with my own stuff, you know.
This is not something to just brush off. How can you say it's normal when this happens to him? Tell me, what are you feeding him? You really don't think there's something wrong?
It's not anything special. When he's hungry, he eats whatever's around. It's not a big deal. Sometimes he eats on his own if he feels like it.
Eats on his own? Are you being serious? I can see that he's getting thinner, and I think this is probably the reason. How is that even acceptable? How can you say that's okay as a mother?
I don't think I deserve to be spoken to like that. You have been absent for so long, and now you're telling me what to do? You don't have the right to tell me how to raise him. You've barely been involved, and now you want to criticize? Raising a kid isn't easy, you know. You wouldn't understand unless you've been in my shoes.
I get what you're saying, but this really isn't acceptable. Not only is Max looking thinner, but he's been so quiet since he came here. What kind of life have you been letting him live for him to be like this? What's going on?
Max is my child, and you have no right to talk down to me like that. It's not like you've been doing anything to help raise him. You haven't been around for years. I'm doing the best I can, so don't act like you know better. Taking care of a kid is more than just talking. It's a whole lot harder than you think.
I can't argue with that. That was an insensitive thing for me to say. I really apologize for that. I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you for at least understanding.
But now you've got to let me take charge, too. I can't just sit back and let things slide like this. I want to help him, and I can't just let him keep suffering. I'm going to take him to the hospital. I'll cover the costs, so don't worry about it.
I already told you, don't take matters into your own hands like that. Who said you should take him to the hospital? Why are you trying to do everything yourself?
I'll handle the cost, and if it's going to help, then I'm doing it. Is there a problem with that? Do you have a problem with me trying to help?
Well, that just makes things more complicated. I'm already dealing with my mom's health, and it's overwhelming as it is. Please, I really don't need more things to handle right now. I will take him to the hospital once I've sorted everything out here. That should be enough, right? Is that okay?
I see. If you're that insistent, I guess I'll leave the hospital stuff to you, but don't expect me to keep getting involved. I'll back off. Just take care of him, all right? I'm done for now. Let me handle the rest on my side. Goodbye.
Blake, I just want to thank you for taking care of Max for the past few days. It really helped me out in a big way. My mom's health has gotten better now, so I'm planning to pick Max up today.
What are you talking about? Your mom is actually over at the hospital right now visiting Max. You don't need to come over. There's no need for you to be involved right now.
Visiting Max? What do you mean? I told you that my mom had been sick. Stop joking with me. And what do you mean, visiting Max?
I told you about this the other day, didn't I? I took Max to the hospital, and it turns out that he was almost at the point of malnutrition. He's gonna be discharged today, but right now he's resting and sleeping.
Wait, what? I didn't ask you to do that, did I? Why are you going behind my back and doing things like this on your own?
You've been doing the same thing, though! No matter how many times I tried to contact you, I couldn't get through. I thought something might be wrong, so I ended up contacting your mom, and she was completely fine. What happened to you looking after Max?
So my mom's going to see Max? That was your doing, wasn't it? Seriously, stop doing things like that. You're causing unnecessary trouble here.
So what? Are you saying that if everything had been fine, Max wouldn't have ended up malnourished? But look at him now. The person who's really suffering here is Max.
It's because Max hasn't been eating properly. Don't act like this is something new. When he was living with me, everything was fine. That's why it's actually your fault, not mine. What kind of father are you? You can't even take care of your own kid.
How can you still say that after all this time? Max told me everything, you know. He said you lied to me and went on a trip with your boyfriend. Then after that, you still had the nerve to criticize me? You've got to be kidding me.
I've been the one taking care of Max every single day, and I am exhausted from it. So what if I took a little break and went out for a while? Is that such a crime? If you really cared, you'd be stepping in and helping out instead of just criticizing me.
Oh, is that so? Fine then. Max will stay with me from now on. I'm not giving him back to you, and there's no need for you to come and pick him up anymore.
What? Do you seriously think I'll let you do that? Max is my son. Of course I'm going to pick him up. You have no right to just keep him away from me like this.
Anyone who can't take care of their own child should just step aside. I should have done this from the start. Yes, I lost custody because of my lack of experience in parenting, but with the way things are going, I can't trust you with Max anymore. I just can't.
You really think you can just do whatever you want because you're his father? Let me remind you, that's illegal. If I report this, you'll be arrested. Do you really want to risk that?
Is that really how far you're willing to go? If you pull something like that, it's gonna make things a lot harder for me.
Right, exactly. And honestly, I don't care either way. But if you keep this up, you're asking for trouble. Are you ready to face the consequences?
Fine, I get it. Max will stay with me then. I'll take him to you when he wakes up. You won't be objecting to that, will ya?
I understand what you're trying to say, but it's not like I'm just going to back down. Once you bring him to me, Max isn't going anywhere, and he is not going back to you.
When Max wakes up, I'll take him to you. Just make sure you and your boyfriend are waiting for him, okay? I assume you're both together right now?
Yeah, of course. Don't worry about that. Just stay quiet and bring Max over. I'll be waiting for you, so hurry up and get here already. How long are you going to keep pretending to be dead? Hurry up and bring Max over here already.
Oh, sorry. Actually, I've decided not to return Max to you. From now on, I'm gonna take care of him myself.
What? Are you kidding me? There's no way I'll let you do that.
I'm Max's parent too. I don't need your permission to do what I want.
Did you forget? I can report you at any time, you know. Are you sure you want to be arrested?
I knew you'd say that, so I went ahead and reported it first. How lucky for you. Now you don't even have to go through the trouble of reporting me yourself.
Wait, what are you talking about? Are you serious? You reported yourself? Are you out of your mind? How stupid are you?
You're the stupid one here. Why should I be the one to get arrested? If anyone's going to get arrested, it's you.
We're the ones getting arrested. Stop with the jokes already. Why would we get arrested?
You're doing this kind of thing to your own son, and you still don't realize what's wrong with it, do you? I'm glad I reported you. It was the right choice.
What exactly did you report? You've been talking all this trash about me, so why don't you tell me exactly what you've reported?
I've said this over and over, but in today's world, malnutrition is abnormal. Even the doctor was shocked. Just that alone shows you're not raising your son properly as a parent.
So what? What's your point?
That's the point! At this point, you've done enough for the authorities to arrest you. And on top of that, I've heard from Max. He told me that you told him not to say anything to me, didn't you? That's why he's been so quiet, right?
So what if Max told you that? You're just believing everything the kid says? That's just some child's nonsense. You can't honestly be stupid enough to report something like that.
If I'm wrong, then fine, I can accept it. But if you're gonna not believe Max now, then what's the point of being a parent in the first place?
I'm not going to let you report me based on some emotional outburst. You'll regret this later. If you want to take it back, now's your chance.
I don't want to regret this any more than I already do, which is why I reported you. Since the divorce and losing custody, this is the most regret I've ever felt. I don't want any more regrets after this.
You're still holding on to that resentment about losing custody, aren't you? Is that why you're doing all of this?
That's not the issue here, and even if it were, I want to thank you for something, though.
What? Thank me? Then why the hell are you reporting me? You're constantly contradicting yourself.
I'm serious, though. If you hadn't carelessly handed over Max to me, we wouldn't be here right now. Because of that, I'm able to help Max, so thank you for allowing me to take care of him. Both Max and I are grateful for that. After everything unfolded, the police arrived at the house, and Sandra and her boyfriend were promptly taken into custody. With Max's testimony and the medical examination results from the hospital, along with the horrifying scene the police discovered in Sandra's home, the decision was made to arrest the two of them. Thankfully, I wasn't involved in any way afterward, and no further issues arose on my part, so the situation was ultimately resolved without complications. Following this, I decided to take action based on the incident and managed to regain custody of Max from Sandra. The entire experience was emotionally exhausting, but in the end, I was able to get Max back, and that was what mattered most. Now, Max and I are living together, just the two of us. It's been a bit of a rough transition for both of us, especially for Max, who had suffered so much. But over time, things have started to feel more normal. For a long while, Max had not been receiving proper nutrition. As a result, whenever he ate anything, he would immediately throw up. This continued for quite some time after we started living together. I had hoped that being in a better, safer environment would help, but it took longer than I expected for him to stabilize. However, after a few months of living with me, Max started to calm down and his condition began to improve. He stopped throwing up after meals, and although it wasn't an immediate change, I could see a steady recovery happening day by day. Now, things are starting to return to normal, or at least to the way they were before the divorce. Max is in much better spirits, and I can see his health improving as he adjusts to his new life with me. He's also attending preschool again and is adjusting well. It makes me happy to see him interacting with other kids, playing and learning, things that should have always been part of his childhood, but were delayed because of everything that happened before. The transition back into a routine has been good for him, and I hope it continues to improve his well-being. As Max grows older, I'm sure we'll face many more challenges. Parenting is never easy, especially when you're raising a child alone after everything that's happened. But despite the difficulties that may come our way, I'm determined to make the right choices for Max's future. I want to raise him in a way that he feels loved and supported without having to deal with the kind of pain and neglect he suffered before. It won't be perfect, but I'm gonna do my best, and the one thing I can promise him is that I won't regret the choices I make for him. The most important thing is that Max is safe and happy now. That's all that matters to me. Whatever challenges come up, I'll face them head on, because I know that as long as I'm doing the right thing by him, everything will eventually work out. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.